The liver is a very large organ located in the upper part of the abdominal cavity. It performs many functions. It receives blood from the GI tract that contains all the nutrients, and its major function is to process these nutrients and to store some of them. For example, if there is high blood glucose levels, it will store the glucose as glycogen, and then when the body needs more glucose, it will break down the glycogen to glucose. Also, other nutrients that it's processed would be proteins and the nitrogenous waste from the breakdown of proteins, and it makes urea. It also breaks down old red blood cells. Red blood cells last about 120 days in circulation, and one of the products of the breakdown is bilirubin, which it uses to make bile. The liver produces the bile, and the bile is stored in the gallbladder, and when needed it is secreted into the small intestine to break down fats. The liver also detoxifies drugs and alcohol that come from the GI tract. It also makes very important blood proteins such as clotting factors. Okay, so what are the effects of liver failure? One of the major effects is that if the liver isn't able to make important blood proteins like clotting factors, then that stops the blood from clotting, say if there's bleeding, and it can also lead to increased bruising. The other important factor would be how the liver deals with nitrogenous waste, and that's waste from the synthesis of proteins or the breakdown of proteins and the making of urea. If the liver isn't working properly and it can't deal with that waste, what happens is that there's a buildup of that waste in the blood, and this can seriously affect brain function. So those are the two major effects of liver failure.